Okay. Good afternoon and welcome to the Board of Public Works and Safety November 2nd, 2020 meeting. We're going to do our Pledge of Allegiance tonight led by Board Member Jim Barrett only for the sake of Zoom so we don't talk all over each other. So Jim, go right ahead, sir.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, sir. Okay, Rosemary, can we go ahead and do a roll call?
Brian Dobb.
Present.
Gibson. David Nutty.
Present.
Jim Barrett.
Here.
We had Becky on here earlier. I'm not for sure what happened. Diana's going to try to contact her, see if we can't get her back on. So we'll go ahead and start. I'd like to welcome everyone. I appreciate everyone being flexible. We didn't get the governor's order till Friday evening late that we could do this. We didn't know if we're still going to be able to do Zoom meetings or not. He extended that through December 1st. So just so you know, we will be continuing Zoom meetings the rest of this month. That is the plan. We'll see what the numbers do, and we will see what happens after December 1st, if he extends it or what. So we have the capability. We are set up. We still have a little bit of quirks we're working through. But this will be the way we're going to handle our Board of Works and our City Council meetings for the rest of this month. So I appreciate everyone being flexible and working with us. Hopefully we can get Becky back here, and we still have a quorum. So everyone has their minutes from the October 19th, 2020 meeting and the special session on October 22nd. Are there any additions or corrections to that?
Motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
I'm sorry, Rosemary, let's do a roll. Can we do a roll call? That would be easier for you.
Becky. David Nutty.
Yes.
Jim Barrett.
Yes.
Brian Dobb.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. I apologize. I forgot we can't do voice votes on Zoom. It's too hard. Going on down to new business. You have Becky said she's trying to log back in, so if she logs back in, we'll let her in. We have the downtown lighting contract with Duke Energy. What that is you have your memo. Jaleesa really working on this. We have to get this done in order to get our sidewalk engineering and finalized. You can see there's quite a bit of engineering that went into this. And there's a lot of other agreements, with the reason we wanted to look at our lights was each block has a different set of lights. We're redoing our sidewalk. We're trying to make them all look standard, make them look nice. While we're replacing our sidewalks, now's the time to do it. We did meet with the finance committee, the city council finance committee. They gave us their blessing on it and which direction they wanted to go. The one thing, if you look at the contract option D, it's a 5-year agreement. The advantage of having Duke, and we looked at several different options, but it's kind of hard to do because it ultimately all goes back to Duke and power. But they'll maintain it, they'll install it, they'll manage it, and then you can see at the end that after initial term is what we pay just in electricity to run those lights. But like I said, we did present this to the council or the finance committee. We went through several different options. We settled on option D, the 5-year. But we want to go ahead and get this done so we can, obviously this won't be billed until next year after the lights are put in. So we got time, but we had to get it done in order to get the engineering done. Any questions on that?
Any part of this covered by grants?
Well, that's the other thing. We had to get the numbers so we can try to go after some grants. So I can't say yes to that, but I can tell you we are applying for some. So that is another option we're looking at, Brian.
This is not part of the sidewalk grant we already have?
No.
Have we looked at solar on these too?
We looked at LED for some other options because long-term goal, if feasible, I don't know if it's feasible. We would like to add internet at some point so our downtown will be covered with a mesh system. I'm not sure how feasible that's going to be. But when we looked at solar, we did look at solar and the battery. I think the batteries were the issue with solar. It was going to be, honestly, Brian, I can't tell you everything, but I do know that solar, did look at solar, just wasn't a good option at this point. There's going to be a lot more money with the batteries, if I remember correctly. It's been a couple months. I had Jaleesa really digging in on it too.
I knew Brad and I looked at some, for Park Road and just the different options. We were looking at the sunlight downtown because I think you're only getting half sunlight.
Yeah, we're not getting full sunlight
No.
because of buildings, but it wasn't going to work downtown. I know it could, but it's going to be very expensive, and we're going to believe due to that it was going to limit on how much light we would actually have.
Okay.
But we looked at several options, and everything just kind of. Duke was really the best to work with. They engineered it. They did everything, and they service them. They maintain them. We got a problem, they're right here. That's the best part about it. And they've been really good to work with. They gave us 3 different, even though you see several different financing options, they gave us 3 different light options that we would sit down and kind of hashed out to see what we wanted to do. This is by far the most economical.
Are these dusk to dawn?
I would assume so, Brian. I don't remember, but since they're LED, I'm assuming they're all dusk to dawn because they wouldn't run during the day. And I don't think they'll put timers on them.
No,
it'd be just like the ones we have now. I'm assuming they're all dusk to dawn.
Okay.
But they are all LED. If not, we'll entertain a motion to approve.
I'll make a motion.
I make a motion we go ahead and approve the option 5.
We have a motion. Brian, did you second it?
Yeah, I'll second.
Let's do a roll call, please.
David Nutty,
Yes. Option D.
Jim Barrett,
Yes.
Brian Daub,
Yes, option D.
Becky Gibson.
Yes.
Thank you. You want to take all the transfers together?
Yes.
We have Rosemary.
Resolution 2020-32 is a transfer within the airport budget, moving $200 from building materials to other repair. Resolution 2020-33 is a resolution to transfer within the airport, moving $500 from electricity to repair of equipment. Resolution 2020-34 is a resolution to transfer within the police budget, moving $3,200 from the part-time officers to unemployment. Resolution 2020-35 is a resolution to transfer $400 within the landfill budget from fringe benefits to overtime. Resolution 2020-36 is a resolution to transfer $800 within the landfill budget from moving it from electricity to uniform rental. Resolution 2020-37 is a resolution to transfer $300 within the MVH budget, moving from gasoline to signs.
Questions?
I can make a motion we approve the resolutions 2020-32 through 2020-37.
We have a motion and a second from Brian Daub. Roll call vote, please.
Jim Barrett,
Yes.
Brian Daub,
Yes.
Becky Gibson,
Yes.
David Nutty.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Michael King, you want to talk about your remote access equipment, please?
The quotes we got were from, can everybody hear me okay, first of all?
Yes.
Yes.
Firstly, the quotes we got were from IT Savvy and SCW. both were pretty much neck and neck. One came in a little bit cheaper on one piece, another one came in a little bit cheaper on another piece. And then it's the Unify switches, Unify Cloud Key, and then a server and a hardware for the server. This is all covered by the grant that we applied for. We just want to get approval to go ahead and get that stuff ordered. I'd have to get a refresh on the quote and see who came in finalized on the better price. We've worked with both companies before, so both of them have been pretty stand-up as far as following up and standing behind their product when we've had problems and getting fulfilled or getting warranty service, that kind of thing. So, but this would replace switches at utilities, TV3, park, fire department, put up extra security and firewall at some of those locations. I think all the locations, but I can't remember all the ones I had accounted for. And give us better network security, give us better infrastructure, and give us better backup and everything.
Is EMS included?
Yes, I believe I included the EMS building. So, so it'll give us more capability. It is a PoE capable switch. The 6 switches there that on that top line on the SCW quote. So since it is a PoE capable switch, it can be used to power PoE cameras and PoE devices. So if they decide to get PoE camera system, run a network cable, plug it in, boom, it's got power.
Explain PoE because not everyone understands what that means.
It's power over Ethernet, so you don't have to run a power cable and a network cable to it. It's just a power cable, network cable, and then boom, it's got power. So it could be a Wi-Fi transmitter, a Ethernet camera, a radio, whatever kind of item might get power over that Ethernet. Doorbells, the Ring doorbells, those kind of things run off PoE nowadays. Anything that's most IoT devices, if they're not Wi-Fi, a lot of them run off PoE. Our Metronet phones in the offices run off PoE. So if we decide to put another phone somewhere over at EMS, we can plug it up through PoE. So that switch will handle that. It's a faster switch than what's there now, and it's more capable. It'll also allow more better security. So, and then that's replacing. Now we do have one of those at City Hall already, but it'll replace the ones over at utilities that are 7 or 8 years old. It'll replace the ones at fire department. Or actually, we got multiple small ones at the fire department that are old. So I mean, we'll update the infrastructure at various places and increase the security and allow a better thing everywhere. So that we've got those set up for.
Michael, there's several pages. So can you give me the final number on Savvy and for SCW?
The SCW quote for those items totaled out at $19,318. And the IT Savvy quote for that stuff totaled out at $19,392.52.
Thank you. And which one have you worked best with?
They've both been pretty good, both of them. I mean, I work pretty well with reps from both of them. They work pretty well. Usually they're neck and neck. It just depends on which item you're calling about, depending on which vendor gives them the better deal that day. One might come up better with a better computer from HP, but the other one might come up with a better thing from Ubiquity. It just depends on who you're calling about.
Outside the cost, does one offer more quality equipment than the other?
No, it's all pretty much the same vendors.
Okay.
And like I said, I've always been pretty happy with calling. If I can't get a good response from a vendor, I've been pretty happy with calling them, and they can usually follow up on the back end and get us a good response.
So that's another thing. How quick can you get it? And things aren't going to be on back order. And what kind of service do you get?
Assuming the stuff's in stock, and I order it today, I wouldn't be surprised if I had it as soon as Wednesday or Thursday for the Ubiquity stuff. I don't know about the Synology server. I don't know how fast they fulfill that kind of thing, because servers are a little weirder, but it's possible I could have that by the end of the week. It's possible it could be next week. I honestly don't. But the Synology stuff, I've ordered stuff from that Synology before and had it the next day. It just depends on which warehouse it's coming from. But with the COVID situation and how that's affected manufacturing across the world, there have been back order situations going on. I set up a camera install for the jail, to replace a camera, and the replacement camera is currently back ordered by at least 3 weeks, is what I've been told, because of manufacturing issues, where the factory that makes the chip that goes into the camera is backward. So it's one of those things that, because of the COVID stuff, that we're not sure of.
You don't have a preference in supplier?
Not really. Either one of them can work. But since it's been roughly, on one of the quotes, it was dated, find the date here.
10-1.
Yeah, 10-1 on one of them, and then 10-8 on the other. They may want to give us, we may refresh the prices and get better prices, and one of them may come up far ahead of the other one. Because one of the big differences, if I remember right, looking at it, was the hard drive prices on that server. The Exos came in 12 of the hard drives at $405 on one of them, and on the other, it was 12 of them at $397 or $391. And I remember looking those up on Amazon one time, and they varied by about $50 from one day to the next. So it's possible that calling and getting a price today, that could significantly change.
So what do you want us to do? You want us to give you the okay to get back with these two vendors, and whoever gives you the cheapest price, we go with that vendor?
If we could get a tentative approval to get a go ahead and to order it, as long as it's at or below those prices.
Okay.
Then I think we should be good to go. I mean, as long as it's not above that, then we should be fine.
Michael, did you have to get approval of this before you applied for the grant, or a grant money is already available?
This is the CARES Act grant that's covering this. The same thing that's covering all the flooring.
Okay.
I'd make this motion.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Do a roll call vote, please.
Brian Dobb.
Yes.
Becky Gibson.
Yes.
David Nutty.
Yes.
Jim Barrett.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. I hope John said everybody can see me. My end, everybody's frozen, so I can't see what's going on. So I am going to go ahead and turn over to Brad with utilities and streets.
Hi, everybody.
Hello.
Hi, Brad.
Hi.
We've got, first thing is SRF has completed their review of the generator project bid. So I'm asking you to award the bid to Shambaugh Electric. And the number on that was $284,735.
Anybody have questions on that?
I'll make a motion. We go ahead and approve Brad's request for Sean Ball and Sons.
Second.
Morning.
We have a motion and a second. Do roll call vote, please.
Becky Gibson,
Yes.
David Nutty,
Yes.
Jim Barrett,
Yes.
Brian Daub.
Yes.
Okay. The next thing, I had emailed you all the flooring quotes at the utilities. This is to replace the old carpet with new hardwood, and looked like the best bid was wholesale carpets, but I'll ask you to approve their quote.
Read out how loud, please.
You want the numbers?
Yes, well, just read wholesale's number if you don't mind, please.
The total at the utility office was $10,153.05. For the street department was $5,262.37. And at the utility service building is $1,770.36.
Questions?
Can you repeat the utility service?
$1,770.36.
Okay. Thank you.
Any questions?
Make a motion.
Good idea.
Oh, you got a question?
No, I just said it's a good idea. I second that, Jim.
Okay.
You have a motion, a second. Do a roll call, please. For
David
wholesale
Nutty?
flooring.
Yes.
Jim Barrett,
Yes.
Brian Daub,
Yes.
Becky Gibson.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. A few things I wanted to tell you about. The leaf pickup in the city started this morning. We have one machine at the moment. We've had all three of our mechanics have been out, so our second machine is broken, but it's to be repaired on Wednesday. So the one machine we have started on the north end of town, and they're working their way south. As soon as the other one's going, we'll start on the south end, and they'll work towards the middle, both of them. And so leaf pickup will run through the first week of December or so, and compost and yard waste will end at the same time that leaf pickup does. We may open the compost site sporadically, depending on if we have a storm or something, or there's a reason that we should be open, maybe for people to bring Christmas trees, something like that after the first of the year. But most of those services will start again in the spring.
And
then
the end date was what again, please?
I'm leaving it a little bit open, first week of December, so we'll see how it's all going. And then anybody that can, please don't put your leaves when you're putting them out for the machine. Don't put them over the storm drains. And anybody that can help keep those cleaned off, that allows the water to get to the drains, and we don't have big plug ups there when we have a rain. So big trash is done for the year. Bonnie says that we picked up 418 big trash items over this season. I feel like that, and that was all free, no charge to anybody. I feel like that was very successful. We picked up a lot of couches and washers and dryers, carpet, and we'll start that again and when decent weather rolls around. Memorial Drive the digging is basically finished. If everything goes right, the paving on 6th Street and Matthew will happen towards the end of this week. The cleanup and everything's going to take several more weeks, but most of the digging is finished. The 30th Street project, the water main has been installed. Now they're starting to work on the making the connections. I noticed this morning they were using flaggers there to restrict traffic down to one lane. So they're starting to make those connections. You'll probably see a few times where they'll have one lane open at a time. So,
Mr. Mayor, I'm going to have to excuse myself. So, talk to all of you later.
Thank you, Dave.
You're welcome.
One last thing, I wanted to give you an update on the city paving. They, O'Mara will be back in town tomorrow to pave 9th Street and 24th Street over the next couple of days. I think that by the end of the day, Wednesday, all the street paving will be finished for this year, other than they're going to run up on Memorial Drive and pave those streets in our project. So I think that's all I got, unless anybody has any questions.
What's your opinion and follow up on the alley that you paved last week?
Turned out pretty good.
Looks like it.
Yeah, they did a good job. We had a good teacher. Daryl Powell came and not only taught, but jumped right in there and helped the guys.
That's good.
Help them learn. So maybe the next one we'll do without Daryl, and we'll see how that one goes.
Well, even if we use him, I mean, you know, I think he'd be willing to help too. But it looks good. Is there future talks of other alleys? You know, to where maybe people could start submitting their alley, or let's say, you know,
you're gonna have everybody with a bad alley call me.
No, I'm not saying that.
Yeah,
I believe he was.
It sounded like it.
No,
I think that it was a success, so I think it's definitely possible that we could do some more. We have to, you know, understand if we can get some good summer help hired next year, then they can help with the mowing. Then I think we could probably get enough people to where we could do some alleys. So went pretty well.
And Daryl's willing to come back next year and work with us again, because it's hard to remember everything, just doing it one time, then sitting all winter before next year coming back and doing it. So he said he'd be willing to come back and help do whatever.
Good.
That's good.
I think the alley turned out great myself.
I think so
they did
too.
a fantastic job. I've driven down it 4 or 5 times, and I think it's turned out phenomenal.
I know all the people that live up there are extremely pleased with it.
I bet. When's the last time an alley's been paved?
I think maybe 5 or 6 years ago they did a couple.
Oh, really? I know this one was in bad shape. So Brian, to answer your question, we are going to drive around and kind of try to assess them, because there's a lot of bad alleys. And
yeah,
so we'll try to pick some. And
I'm sorry, go ahead.
We're going to drive around and assess them. We've already been driving around looking at a lot of them. So yeah, we're going to try to assess them and see what we can do next year.
I know the trash truck really destroyed some of them, or the ones that were already destroyed had made it a little bit worse. Yeah. When they couldn't pick up on Grand and stuff, you know, so.
Yeah, we're going to drive through and try to assess them and try to come up with a list, see how far we can go. We wanted to make sure that we were able to do it correctly first, and I think we've passed that. So.
I agree.
Any other questions for Brad? Okay, thank you, sir. Is there any old business? Nope. Miscellaneous business.
Just want to urge everybody that they haven't voted yet to go out and vote. I know I was in the courthouse today, and there was probably 50 people in there when I was in there. So you got one more day.
That's right. Any other miscellaneous business?
Even though early voting ended technically at noon, there's still
noon today. Yes, but I'm saying you had tomorrow too as well. So.
Well, I'm saying they still haven't finished that line. The line that you couldn't join the line after noon, but they still haven't finished that. People are still trying to get done.
That's good. Good. Claims, Rosemary.
Utilities is $192,956.64. City is $385,382.82. Payroll $431,823. Let me start over. Payroll $431,823.54.
Okay, make a motion for approve.
So moved.
Second.
Yep.
Have a motion and a second. Roll call vote, please.
Jim Barrett,
Yes.
Brian Daub,
Yes.
Becky Gibson.
Yes.
Very much. I guess that's all we have for today. Again, thank you everyone for bearing with us. We'll get some of the kinks worked out. We will be doing, Becky, I know you missed it. We will be doing roll call votes on everything. It's too hard with Zoom not to.
Okay.
Real quick, Becky,
yes.
can I have your approval for the minutes on a roll call?
Oh, yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
So we are going to handle Zoom meetings again till the end of the month at least through December 1st. If he extends it, we'll look at it at that point and see what we're going to do from there. Thank goodness we got the capability and technology to do it now. So I'd like to thank John and Michael for really working hard getting this set up. So they're doing a fantastic job. So thank you to TV3 and Michael for doing everything. So appreciate it. If there's nothing else, I will take a motion for adjournment.
So moved.
Motion is second. Roll call vote.
Brian Daub,
Yes.
Becky Gibson,
Yes.
Jim Barrett.
Yes.
Motion carried. Thank you. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you.
Thank you.